Hey everybody, welcome to Pick Army Week 12. My name is John, this is Eric. Let's dive in and see what the Army has in store for us this week. The LA Chargers visiting the Buffalo Bills. We like the Bills, minus 5.5. Let's dive into why. Eric, why does this pick make sense?
Well, it makes sense because the Bills have a lot of motivation here. They are currently in first place in the AFC East, but the Dolphins are hot on their trail. Conversely, the Chargers, they're not going anywhere as far as the playoffs goes, most likely firing their head coach at the end of the year. And Justin Herbert is probably going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. So the Chargers, you have to look at the motivation delta between these two teams. Bills, highly motivated. Chargers, not as much. So I think that's what the Army gravitated to here.
What do you think, Eric? Any concerns with this pick at all?
Yeah, there are a lot, actually. I disagree with this pick. The Chargers were one of my four Pick Army picks this week. And the thinking is pretty simple. Buffalo there's some things to like about them, right? Third and third down offense. But they're 26th in third down defense, second most penalties of any team this year. So the discipline factor is a real concern. And the Chargers are also one of two teams in the NFL that have not lost by more than one score on the entire year. So they may not win a lot of games, but they play a lot of close games. The only other team that can say that is Pittsburgh, and the reason is they haven't lost a single game. So this is the Army's favorite pick this week, and it's a big disagreement as far as I go. I think Buffalo has some defensive issues that might come back to bite them here. And the Chargers, they just play close games. I don't know why. I like the points here with the Chargers.
Okay, excellent. Next game, we've got Seattle visiting Philadelphia. Seattle's laying 5.5. The Army's going Seattle. Eric, why does this pick make sense?
Yeah, big agreement here with the Army for me. Seattle's actually one of my four Army picks this week. And the reason is the knock on Seattle previously had been that their defense really struggled. But with the additions of Jamal Adams, which is what everybody's talking about, but the under-the-radar one is the pickup of Carlos Dunlap from the Bengals. They have a pass rush now. Seahawks, second in points per game, second in red zone offense. When they pass the opponent's 20, they score a touchdown. I think this is a potent offense with an improving defense. Conversely, the Eagles are just all kinds of problems. They are looking at a total rebuild, not even sure if Carson Wentz is their quarterback of the future. So I think these are two teams going in opposite directions. People keep saying technically Philadelphia is still in the hunt in the NFC least to win that division, but I don't think they're strong enough. I'm looking at Washington or the New York Giants to take the division. Conversely, Seattle's fighting to win probably the best division in football in the NFC West. So major motivation differences here, big agreement on Seattle.
Next game, we've got Arizona visiting New England. The Army likes Arizona laying 1.5 on the road here. Eric, why does this make sense for us?
Yeah, for me, this is a lean, not a like, but I agree. I think New England really looked solid in that monsoon game against Baltimore, but really New England's been hot cold this year, and I know that Arizona had a pretty ugly loss last week against a team that just isn't as good as they are, although I think Denver is a really tough place to play, so that explains that loss. A lot of teams have had trouble stopping the Cardinals. Their offenses just look spectacular. Kyler Murray is an emerging superstar. Currently, Arizona, 5th in yards per play, 7th best in points per game. And the Cardinals have been solid on third down on both sides of the ball. They're ranked 3rd on offense and defense on third downs. It's a small spread for a reason, but the Cardinals are fighting for a playoff spot where I think the Patriots have more or less packed it in. Agreement here, a lean more than a like for me, but I like the Cardinals in this game as well.
Any concerns with this one at all?
Yeah, you're playing Belichick at home. And anytime that happens, he's a defensive guru. I think that he would get a big kick out of showing Kyler Murray, who's boss here, and that this new wave of offensive innovation isn't what it's cracked up to be. Look, anytime you're laying points, I don't care how small it is. The Army took Arizona -1.5. It's now -2 to 2.5 on certain books. Anytime you're going into Foxborough laying points, that's a concern. Yet, as I said before, I think the Army got this one right.
The Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Bucks. The Army seems to like the Chiefs. Eric, why does that make sense for the Army?
2 words. Patrick Mahomes. And I can add another 2, Andy Reid. Kansas City is currently the favorite to win the Super Bowl and the heavy favorite, if you will. So I think that's what the Army is thinking here, that they're up against. Tampa's looked good, but also had a few real stumbles, particularly that embarrassing loss on Sunday night against the Saints. So I think they are thinking they're getting the better team here. And I think overall Kansas City is the better team. So that's why the pick makes sense.
Any concerns at all with this one?
There are. This is a disagreement for me, and it really just comes down to the number. You're getting the hook over the touchdown, which is, I understand, what bookmakers are using to try to get more money on Tampa. But there are some concerns when it comes to Kansas City. First of all, the real weakness for Tampa Bay is their offensive line. And Kansas City, although they do have some playmakers on the defensive line, I don't think their pass rush is solid enough to really disrupt what Brady is doing. Both teams have offensive playmakers, so those kinds of things wash out. But the two stats that really popped for me, the Chiefs are 30th in penalties on the year. So they have the third most penalties of any team, and they are dead last in red zone defense. So if the other team crosses the Chiefs 20, they are the most likely team to actually give up a touchdown in that instance. That's a real concern. When you couple that with 3.5 points at home for the Buccaneers, who really need this game to stay in the playoff hunt and stay right on the Saints' heels. I think that's the deciding factor here. Pros bet numbers, not teams. It's a lean, not a like for me, but I am going to disagree. I like the Buccaneers plus 3.5.
Las Vegas heading to Atlanta, playing the Falcons. The Army likes Las Vegas. Eric, why does that make sense for us?
This pick makes sense because the Raiders have looked really good against some top competition. They narrowly missed a second win against Kansas City last Sunday night. They've already beaten the Chiefs once, and they beat the Saints. So they have knocked off some pretty solid competition. Here are the two stats that make this one really easy for me. The Raiders, first on offense in converting third downs. They're just hard to get off the field. Conversely, Atlanta, 31st in red zone defense. When the opposing team crosses the 20-yard line of Atlanta, teams are scoring right around 75%. They're scoring touchdowns. That's a major problem here. Anytime you're laying points on the road, particularly a field goal or higher, it's cause for concern. But I think the Raiders are right there in the playoff hunt. They need this game. Conversely, I think the Atlanta loss last week to the Saints was really a soul crusher. I think Atlanta's going to start packing it in. So you're going to have agreement here with me on the Raiders.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much, Eric. That was fantastic information. Appreciate that. Always pick up a lot of knowledge when I sit on this side of the screen from you. But I want to thank everybody for getting their picks in this week. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving week. Eric, you got anything else for us today?
Yeah, thanks, John. Pick Army is a crowdsourcing website that allows you to form your own betting syndicates to help you beat books together. It's easy, free, and benefits some great U.S. veterans charities. Make sure to check us out, pickarmy.com. What do you have to lose? Hope to see you there.
Awesome. Everybody, good luck this week. Enjoy the games, and we'll see you out there.